Hi, my name is Rabbi Sarah Rich. I'm the executive director of Hillel of Buffalo, and I have some Yom Kippur thoughts that I'd like to share with you. See if you can guess what I'm talking about. A bad dream, a disaster, the apocalypse, the end of days, a dumpster fire. These are just a few of the ways that we have described the year 2020, most of which took place during the Jewish year 5780. This year, we have dealt with tremendous challenges, and we feel this sensation of hard times just piling on one on top of the other without any relief. It would be easy to say this Yom Kippur, I'm just gonna sit this one out. No matter how bad we were, how much we sinned, this is too much. This year has been the atonement. We have suffered. It has been difficult. And actually, come to think of it, maybe God should be apologizing to us, not the other way around. Well, guess what? We don't get to sit this one out. If we take an honest look at ourselves, as Yom Kippur calls us to do, then we know that this is not true. And that for all of our righteous anger, we are not innocent. We are not blameless this year any more than we were in past years. And if we sit out this Yom Kippur, we will be hurting ourselves. First of all, there was an entire half of a year from last Yom Kippur until the pandemic started. And it's hard to reach back and to recall that alternative reality that we just used to call normal life. But in that time, we were our regular struggling selves. We were committing sins against one another and against God. And we owe it to that person, to ourselves, for the first part of the year to engage in teshuvah. Second, the pandemic, unfortunately, has brought us new ways to transgress. These may not be entirely new behaviors to us. They might be variations on old themes of what we've struggled with, but regardless, we're doing them, and we need to face these behaviors and ourselves. I have some thoughts on why teshuvah, why repentance feels different this year, why we might be inclined to try to take a pass. It's because we have been so vulnerable this year. We have felt vulnerable in our health, socially isolated, mentally frail and exhausted and burnt out. And so it's natural to not want to further afflict ourselves, to put up a wall of comfort, to protect ourselves from some of the painful experiences that we have when we face ourselves and our actions. We wouldn't be the first to try and avoid this process. On Yom Kippur afternoon, we read a story in the Haftorah about the prophet Jonah. Jonah is a reluctant prophet. God gives him the responsibility to go to the city of Nineveh, a city full of wicked, sinful people, and to say to them, if you don't stop doing what you're doing, God is going to destroy you and this whole city. Well, Jonah feels vulnerable and Jonah does not want to do it. So Jonah runs away, gets on a ship. A storm comes. The crew casts Jonah overboard, where he is then swallowed by a whale. And it takes him still 3 days of sitting in the gut of the whale for him to come to terms with his own resistance, for him to find the courage to do the right thing. This is the moment for us to not hide in the belly of a whale, even if it's really good for social distancing. This is a moment for us to acknowledge that though we have been hurt, though we are hurting still, we too have hurt others. God has given us the dignity of free will and the opportunity to improve ourselves, to mend our relationships, and to pursue a life of holiness. We should not hide from this opportunity. The Yom Kippur prayers guide our repentance by providing a list of ways that we have collectively sinned over the course of the year. Though we may not have done every wrongdoing on the list, collectively as a people, we have. And so we confess those sins together. Al chet shachatanu lefanecha. For the sin we have committed against you, we ask for atonement. It follows with a list. For the sin we have committed against you by lying. For the sin we have committed against you by stealing. For the sin we have committed against you by gossip, and so forth. And so I bring to us today a list of wrongs that we have committed during COVID-19. And I hope that you will join me in confessing these sins, in seeking atonement, and in committing to moving past these behaviors in this year to come. Al chet shachatanu lefanecha, for the sins that we have committed with our bodies by overindulging in food, alcohol, and drugs, by being sedentary, by sleeping too much or too little, by overspending on frivolous purchases, by refusing to wear a mask or wearing one incorrectly, by going out into public while we have symptoms, by spreading false information about the pandemic, by taking shortcuts with hand washing and with hygiene. Forgive us, pardon us, grant us atonement. Al chet shachatanu lefanecha, for the sins we have committed with our minds, by complaining, by being easily distracted, by being critical, by being cynical, by allowing ourselves to lose perspective, by forgetting to be grateful, by cursing God for our misfortune. Forgive us, pardon us, grant us atonement. Al chet shachatanu lefanecha, for the sins we have committed against the people we know, by screening phone calls and text messages, by lying about our actions and our whereabouts, by checking emails or looking at other websites while attending classes or online meetings, by using the chat box to gossip or critique, by cutting off those who disagree with us, by judging the actions of others without knowing the full story. Forgive us, pardon us, grant us atonement. Al chet shachatanu lefanecha, for the sins we have committed against those that we do not know, by spending money on our own self-care while neglecting the basic needs of others, by exploiting others for our entertainment, by tuning out when the suffering of others overwhelmed us, by justifying or downplaying racism and abuse of power, by neglecting to use our power to lift the powerless, by equating our misfortune with that of others who are much less fortunate. For all these sins, O God, forgive us, pardon us, grant us atonement. Maimonides teaches in the Laws of Repentance that full atonement is attained when one is given the opportunity to sin and does not indulge in that opportunity. Tomorrow and the day after that, and for weeks and months to come, we will have the opportunity to rise above these challenges. Yes, we are hurting, but we can do better. So let us turn our vulnerability and our fear into gratitude and action. Let us show our loved ones who are living that we do not take their health for granted, that we love and value them. Let us not take our own health for granted either. Let us make the most of the educational and the professional opportunities that we have, grateful that we have minds to think with, that we have the opportunity to be satisfied through our achievements, our hard work. May we seek the goodness in each day, embracing the gift that we have by being alive. King Ratzon, may this be God's will. May you have a meaningful Yom Kippur and a meaningful and good year.